Okay, let's talk about something kind of strange. You know that feeling, right? When you're in a room jam-packed with people, could even be your friends, but you feel completely, totally alone. It's such a confusing, isolating thing to go through, and today we are going to get to the very heart of why that happens. I mean, on the outside, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're talking, you're listening, you're smiling at all the right moments. It's like you're playing the part of a social person. And honestly, you're nailing it. Laughing at the jokes, saying the right stuff, it's a perfect performance. Anyone looking at you would think, wow, they're really engaged. But inside, oh, it's a completely different story, isn't it? There's this weird feeling of being disconnected, almost like you're behind a pane of glass, just watching yourself go through the motions. Yeah, you're physically there, but you're not really there. And then the really strange part hits you. You finally get home, and you think, okay, relief. But nope. The silence in your own space just makes that feeling of loneliness louder. It's this deep, echoing emptiness that just doesn't make any sense, right? You were just with people. So, of course, that whole experience kicks off this internal monologue, this search for an answer. You start digging around in your head trying to figure out what is wrong with you. But here's the thing, and we're about to dive into this, we almost always start by asking the absolute wrong question. Yeah, does any of this sound familiar? Why do I still feel this way? What is wrong with me? Why can't I feel close to people even when they're right here? That inner voice can be just brutal. We turn all that confusion inward and decide, well, I must be broken or just different. Like we're stuck on the outside looking in at this big party everyone else got invited to. Okay, but what if it's not about you being broken at all? What if this feeling has nothing to do with the number of people in the room and everything to do with the absence of something else? So this is the big idea. This is the shift. We usually think of loneliness as, just not having people around. But the deeper truth, the real truth, is that loneliness, this specific kind of loneliness, is actually the absence of emotional safety. It's that feeling that tells you, hey, it's not actually safe to be 100% yourself right here. You see, your nervous system doesn't really care about a head count. It's got this ancient primal way of measuring what's really going on. That deep, instinctual part of you that's always on the lookout for danger, it's not counting how many friends you have at the party. It's scanning the room for something way, way more important. And here it is. This is the question it's constantly, quietly asking under the surface of every single social situation. Is it safe for me to be real here? Can I actually let my guard down? Can I say what I really think, feel what I really feel, and not get misunderstood, or shut down, or just plain rejected? And if the answer your body gets back is nope, well, then real connection just isn't going to happen. Now, here's the crucial part. If your system's default answer is no, it's not safe, that's not a bug. It's not a glitch in your programming. It's actually a feature. It's a sign of a super intelligent system that learned exactly how to keep you safe based on things that have happened before. Just think back. At some point in your life, probably more than once, being real and open, well, it didn't go so well. Maybe you were misunderstood or dismissed. So your system learned a very quiet, very powerful lesson. Connection can equal risk. Showing my true self can lead to pain. So to protect you from that pain, it keeps you just a little bit guarded, all the time. And the price of that protection? That's the hollow feeling. That's the incomplete connection. And that right there, that is the big reframe. This isn't a weakness. It's not a flaw in your personality. It's a survival strategy. And it worked. It's your body's really smart way of dealing with past hurts. It learned that being protected was safer than being close. So we don't call it a flaw. We call it an intelligent adaptation. So, to deal with all this, you probably got really, really good at being agreeable. You became an incredible listener, super attentive, just easy to be around. And hey, those are great qualities, but they can also become a kind of armor, right? A way to keep the most real parts of yourself safely tucked away. Okay, so how do we start to change this? How do we rewire that system? Well, here's the beautiful part. The answer isn't to just force it. It's not about trying to tear down all your walls in one go. The way forward is actually much, much gentler than that. And this is really important, you guys. Our first instinct is usually to just try harder, to force ourselves to open up. But all that does is scream to your nervous system that connection is this big, scary battle. The real work, the real healing happens when you allow tiny, small, low-stakes moments of honesty. And just as important, being super gentle with yourself while you do it. So, what does small honesty even look like? Well, it could be as simple as saying one sentence without editing it 100 times in your head first. Or maybe just letting a real reaction show on your face instead of putting on the right one. It's all about those tiny little moments where you choose to just be present instead of putting on a performance. See, every single one of those small acts is like a little piece of evidence you're handing to your nervous system. You're slowly building a case, piece by piece, that proves a new theory. Hey, look, I can be me and I can still be safe. You are gently, patiently rewriting that old, outdated programming. Because at the end of the day, you just can't force connection. It's not something you can muscle through. It's something that just comes back all on its own when your system finally believes that it's safe enough to show up, to fully arrive. And hey, if any of this is hitting home for you, I really want you to hear this. You are so not alone in this. This whole experience is incredibly, deeply human. So many of us know what it's like to feel like we're behind that glass. So I'm just going to leave you with a question. And it's not a challenge, okay? It's just a gentle little thought to carry with you. How can you show your system it's safe? Just for a moment, today. What's one tiny, gentle act of honesty you could allow yourself? Because that, right there, that's where the journey back to yourself and back to others really begins.